The next presidential election is going to have different rules, thanks to a bill Congress tucked into that massive $1.7 trillion government spending bill and then passed on the way out the door late on Friday night. For the first time since 1887, Congress updated the Electoral Count Act. That's the law that governs how Congress can count electoral votes on January 6th. And if you remember the last time they were doing that, there was a riot and a bunch of questions about valid slates of electors and whether the vice president could just randomly choose not to certify the election or even delay the count. Well, Congress fixed all of that in the Electoral Count Reform and Presidential Transition Improvement Act of 2022. It does several things, including ensuring only one official slate of electors is allowed to be submitted from each state. It says very clearly the vice president's role on that day is purely ceremonial. It raises the threshold for lawmakers to object to slates of electors. Instead of just one senator and one representative needed for an objection, now you have to have 1/5 of the total House and Senate agree to the same objection. And lastly, it strikes an archaic 1845 law that could be used by state legislatures to override the popular vote in their state by just randomly declaring a failed election. The law also governs what happens during the transition of power if neither presidential candidate concedes.